comme ya ko nyame nyanta interview la sodla jang with the party leader and Secretary General, His Excellency Lawyer Ousainou Darboe. This is a joint program, UDP platform tema. So it is a pleasure to have our colleague and dear brother Sehu here on UDP TV&MEDIA. But at the same time, UDP online bantabani UDP TV&MEDIA ni UDP kibarol be do ko la jam. So mbal be tentula mbal jela wala tremembe jiberola ani men be lamorola ani men menani program mo jibera ba frale ko welcome and thank you for joining us. Comme Seku ya ko nyamen B is Christmas Day, December the 25th. Ba frale Merry Christmas to our Christian brothers and sisters. Medan Rokela Jandrong, na admin sol, men be UDP TV&MEDIA. We have great admins. Alalonko, everybody is called on duty. Mobe tara on standby, mobe ya try men wajibi aramal yakem, malefiko moto kumandi. Distractul minale, invaders minale, but admin sol ayala lente menkela. Let's not allow ourselves to be distracted. Let's not give them the chance and the room. Imina ibe mola programo tinyala mena. So momo yala lente menkela. Manjari karos ka blocking ka wanyama but alaji be fana men be faw also use kan men yalon ko aliya alfon ya muta ko man ta bajali so ndra manya ka fala min kala but again momo jointa nyan science is never too late to study so al kachani sia alianta sara nyame men ka recording ke the likes of brother Abdullah Sise sister Aita Sa ba fala ko be on a standby ale program on record kumul men kumma da je ne fitane da fitale men ma Wakamala Mbafla ko ala barka bake mfamala keba Sehu will be the main moderator and I'll be the co-host. So mbeduna kacha kono kairo kono na kumfa kairo kono nimpati leader fana nataja nano ko question kuma balle nyini kalaja adon inshallah ni hakilola nkana kumola mani jisola barka bake brother Sehu. Thank you.
Abaraka bake sana ilo diamu kendo me tentola be jaila once again, I'll welcome to this very special interview, Christmas Day, joint interview between UDP Online Bantabani, UDP TV&MEDIA. Obviously, we are also recognizing all commissioner all the UDP platforms, Kibaro, UDP Media Network, Kamarabako, Mashallah, UDP Media House, all Seattle. So they will be acknowledged and for the good job that all this platform will make and UDP segment and the management of the mobile platform will financial everybody. Performance Momo venue, all this platform will be to be albe tentual do now. UDP TV&MEDIA, UDP Online Bantaba, UDP Kibaro Media Network, Kamaraba Teukan Ata, or we all seen what he's doing for the party. So we want to say thank you. And all the respective media UDP platforms or Melialonko, Ibe Group Kono, we know them. The Finland one also is there. So a different body forum, all the masala coming platform or share, but each and every all these platforms might be acknowledged. Okay, layout of this interview with Kalanyaming, all party leader at the mail of Dunna. Ninga Kachamen sort of somebody Dunna, a Dunna and Prungana Kachasu, Nalia Crossi, Cabri UDP and Congress or Menkerano, December Titani Seo. Titanin Koronto, Paradise Shoot Hotel, then I come out a mega rally above a zone. You know, the first interview with the diaspora media platforms, me alonko abinakachala. So obviously, the interview be post-mortem kelale on the Congress and in the national issues for the discourse lale. So Sana and I will be asking the questions. But Lafita want to lay the ground rules for the interview. Alpha Bang wole sota Gambia Alpha Bah. The future president of the Gambia, the man that every Gambian is expected to take him leadership to be inaugurated in January 2022. So Mengala question on your behalf, but I'll say question all for the comment section, but we want to call for decorum. Comments question also but I including Horomokam. We will pick we will be able to ask all the questions. But particularly, time when you may know question on Yininka, Manki containing Sanada Maranyanta Yininka Rokelabao, Dabo is for the world, for Africa, for the Gambia. Amanki control Damalo. It's not this is BUDP. The interview is for Gambia. So Momo, you don't have to be in UDP, put a question on Yininka. You could be a not as long as you Gambian or near question on Yininka, cloning Horomokama, Nindema pick Sanaba particularly. Or Checkendo might alert us. All the admins will, one of them will pick it up. Lines all member Lani party leader dropped we'll open the lines. That's how this program is structured. Party leader nine in Banta, then Nemo will have to contribute to the comment section after he's dropped, then we'll open the line. So this is the layout of the program for today. So Benjene Fogam Matum Boka Iman Lose Huma Bisulalen Hamnani interview with Nenko Defi, why pro for the benefit of your Hamlet Tamit Henderson source. Nyongilena will come to UDP on TV and media. This is a special interview on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to all Christians. Nyongilena wish happy festive period. The Ndokaleku party leader be that goodwill Christmas message Mumdabdimba, and also J. Paul Taku, or Hamne Moy Deputy Administrative Secretary for External Affairs, Mumtan gain a message. They on behalf of the party, for Ndokaleku Christianity. So Ninge Ndokaleku Sunimboke Christianity. Pro Christmas be it's only 6 more days to the new year. You are now wish happy new year in advance again. Interview be the Amwatan ak party leader be fit Marks my brother Sana. The like questions. Kubuga latte question. Latte kosi yar ak tegen. Munga ko binda si comment section. Kena sinyun dina ko pick up, or the admins or sinyu the technical person Kekendo dina ko pick up, and then he will alert us. Why mulunyo latte questions yep see what to be, because party leader be could busy la right now zabalamu program bi ñu ne amna ko duga fofu lu buga waxtan mo lolu tapé légui mënu fa duga, so he's actually right now seeing someone, so he's a very busy man, so he has kindly given us this time pour ñu mo waxtan ak mom sana dina latte question why after mom bu drop e be paré lañ ubbi lines, so people can call in and give comments, and that's it at the last hour of the program. That's how the program is structured. Why the first 2 hours or so, please questions. I think we have common questions, the common denominator, common questions you have Sana will definitely remember it. So this is the layout of the program. Sana, so the program will attend the follow the party leader kadia. When you have to come then if anasaka futumano nyinata kudola, then you can just add it on.
Yeah, exactly. Ya funya men seku wala mu yakumu nyimbe pande drong. Me badi ngol dan la mena drong wala kom seku ya funya me. Mo be kana mira ko lefte mena drong be nyinin kala. And there are certain questions for buga nyinin and pabi fanang wala the party leader also have the right to decline any question amalifikamen meaning wala malifikamen jabi because of our situation. Lawyer Darboe is not only the leader and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party, but he's a president in waiting. He's for the world, Africa, and Gambia in general. But at the end of the day, let's not be surprised. Football better life, better life. Until me along con the labafe, until laba katala, bunyani horomo kandro, nkana change the mola, many along go, will mean ala pulka distraction sa mananja. So seku ya funyama la balali ngol nyama, I hope more than understand a little. Many fana ya long kalbe call kelenang immediately after nim party leader jita, but Daniela, everybody would like to call, everybody would like to express his or her opinion. But ninko 3 minutes long, I like a 3 minutes. Ninko 5 minutes, I like a 5 minutes. Ninko control I done 3 minutes la. Ninko question I done 3 minutes la. Isaje musamo be accommodate no, because you can feel badly. Nin dol dunda dol mandu. Ka feel badly dol ba me la ko nela call ignore wata man ka wodi. Time will constrain them. So we have maximum of 4 hours for this whole program, and almost 30 minutes start aside. So Daniela Wala, back to you, Shehu.
Okay, Abaraga, thank you. Hopefully, when you understand all the body will be able to UDP TV media. The party leader, but then we go into business. Program will start. But Johnny party leader Canary, obviously, Sana, we can talk about a few things. Maybe Kekam Banko come right now. Obviously, this interview is purposely party leader interview, but Gambia kuombe wale kachakan jam. Sana this tour me make Gambia right now. It's so disappointing. Gambia constitutional nyatongol cementuya momo besiri wo palasoto. Section 222, subsection 15 of the Gambian Constitution, President Masike at least twice a year ka banko ani banko dingole kacha banko la kuola asila sulo long wala nafati yake constitutional come. But sana right now in constitutional provisional ning Adama Baroba abuse kane so disappointingly. This is like NPP talk. Najele, you know, the euphoria maybe create can t-shirt or reprint la. But again, ngajele dinding will be used can sana dinding will be used can. All right, the use can and everything, and we saw the wives of the police association also, showing loyalty. Sana, this is scary. This is very, very scary. Just replica of Jame era. What we Murukan Gambia right now.
Exactly. See, who left out the formula to say that Barrow is abusing the constitution. I think is an understatement. Barrow is not only disrespecting or disregarding the constitution, but officer of an abuse as the head of the state. And not only Barrow, but a cabinet minister, National Assembly members, or Momo Yalam Kobe Barrow in total, what NPP, the National Poverty Program, Assembly, Ibela officer abuse can. In the sense that follow. Bilamina in to Kumas, I mean, for 30-day tour. What 30-day tour near GB and Tamara from Banco Bilamar. Barrow will go to every region, every corner. But 30 days from Barrow, 20 days from Barrow Kamunan Combo. So the remaining 10 days will Mentreja, Abokala Mintole, Abita Mintole. And on 30 days, so may I declare that we were told Kalawala, Ya Alawan Sol Talafa Preda, Ya Padiamo Talafa Preda, Yenta Function Domology, Yenta Function Sodology, Ya Talafa Preda, Yatalano Tema. Okay, Yanata Dulato Fanto Mini Alonco, Ya Jame, La Cool. Baroya Tala I multiply. Multiply. But ya jeme kata tola watu mena adwate nyawonya I opportunity di Senegal ba demalal funding kewol musukafol ikane kallo ikafo membe to membula pro rani lafte munela masakunda wala mene expect masakunda inde menke.
Yeah.
But na baro leje anala cabinet minister especially the lives of Ahmad Ba, instead of asking people, the people that he's meeting, instead of giving people the opportunity to express their opinion, most of them, they are always in defense.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with this campaign, because I'm not going to call this a tour. I'm not going to call it like a mid-civil store.
Party leader don't understand.
Yeah, so we'll try to connect you guys now. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, sorry about that, Sana. To internet,
okay. Yeah. So if you example of Nyajibe Ahmad Babe Diamuka Wadomena, aka Sadauda Kairaba Jawra legacy attack, Yena Jibe, Amadou Kora Billy Atolo as Mandi Mansa, Musa Drame Fane o Kulma, Yena Baro Fananjibe. About Damen Mansa, I know Mansoronu, Modul Bijo, Fala, what does that have to do with the tour?
It's very sad. Sarah, party leader don't on the side right now. Good evening, Honorable H.A. Darboe.
Good evening, Sana, and the rest of the team. Good evening.
Thank you. Bismillah, UDP TV media. Thank you, Honorable Darboe, for the time. You may create a busy schedule. You are a very busy man, but you are live right now on UDP TV media. Say Bismillah again. Then thank you for having us on this. This is like, I call it a Christmas gift to us.
Well, thank you for hosting me, and thank you for having me as your guest on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
This morning, that's what I told a gathering. I have never had a Christmas so good since the founding of the UDP. Today, have some people, Melan Kafko switched over from NPP to UDP. There are people from Busumbala constituency, and these people come from Daladron, but they appeared physically and played the UDP. So I think it's a good Christmas for me. And then you hosting today also, you also hosting me today. It's a good Christmas for me. And thank you very much.
Wow, that is a double whammy for us. Bismillah, Sana Bismillah, party leader in your content.
Abaragabake Sehu as the moderator and many opportunity to welcome to the platform, Your Excellency, Party Leader and Secretary General, Lawyer Ousainou Darboe. For UDP TV and media at the for UDP online bantaba, but at the same time, UDP media platform better than program. So it's a great pleasure for us to have you here, and we thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to have you on this Christmas Day, and to have you as the first UDP immediately after your election as the party leader. So Merry Christmas, and many opportunity for Antalaka for Merry Christmas to all our Christian brothers and sisters again. But now all of me to go. Ela iron lady, the number 2 lady, ela deputy leader, bila mala bab dedi. But
yeah, Bilom Ajaratu Yamsek, deputy party leader of UDP, Bilala birthday Buffalo on behalf of all UDP platforms. Happy birthday to UDP number 2, Ajaratu Yamsek. Alama ye you wish happy birthday celebrate at you. Very menu Guru UDP, inshallah, 20 witness inauguration of Ousainou Darboe as the 4th president of the Gambia in 2022. Party leader Butunge Bulai for your special birthday dedication to number 2.
Thank you. Let me say thank you for joining me to wish Ajiam Seka a happy birthday and many more returns. Again, now today, Christmas Day, it's very good for UDP. You know? Today, Christmas Day, we are celebrating Ajiam Seka's birthday.
Yeah.
That's something very great. A woman who has done a lot for this country, and in whatever way you write the history of this country, whether you take a negative look at it or you take a positive look at it, on UDP and so forth, Ajiam Seka's name will feature very prominently. So I had called her and sang happy birthday to her.
Wow.
and I think she was the only one who had it.
Yeah.
And 2 people around her. She called Nama, Nama wish happy birthday. But let me do it, let me repeat it here.
Yeah.
For the general viewers and those listening on other medium, to hear my terrible voice, you know, in this. Ajiam Seka, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ajiam Seka. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
Wow. And incidentally, it also is the birthday of one of my darling daughters, Mami, in France.
Wow.
Maria Darboe was commonly known as Mami. So today is also her birthday. So it's a good Christmas for me.
It's a good Christmas. What kind of Mami fana wish happy birthday la? Afana alamai bululun jama celebrate. Attending Ajiyam la dem that birthday. Everybody, Mulbela birthday mubiti. Bafulali happy birthday from obviously from the party leader from UDP TV&MEDIA, all UDP platforms. Party leader science na dum kachakono ñu mela la first interview ci being in Congress kuma botala. Congress do me alon ko ntafola ko na ki Gambia de. But it's one of a kind. Because started on December 18th, 19th, coup beta the coup. So me diamo that learning world to falan. Truka engineering ka ngaron ko ye di katal men kaje UDP 5-point agenda up, you know, immediately 5-point agenda policy issues. Your delegates all tend to your host tend to Taliban so the mayor Taliban so running Sierra Melketa hosting. Ye molde tend to ye diam ko kendol ke electoral tada the new executive mayor ko musunani keta je saying which is commendable and for aji yamundo yabo yafuko historic party na Gambia UDP the first national president Menketa Musoti. So always we set the tone and others follow. You call the briefly. Congress so and how did it feel after the Congress?
Well, Namen Karanye Congress to one of Molu left a Koku Kella. Left a Kaki Nyamen. Ibo Kenolale, Nata La Foni Bijeto. Going from Congress, no matter first time. As if I became a Gambian Kono, the preparations, the publicity, anyon na manke in this country. Saying mole ba nikin nantella, mel Congress kala potenke. or even any major political activity, even UDP in terms of preparations. The electronic bill the various strategic locations, Westfield Clinic, the traffic light, and in Senegambia, coupled with other billboards right across the greater Banjul area. I think it has never happened, and if it's happening again, it will be one that is going to emulate with UDP, and that is because of course, determination and our zeal and desire for perfection. We cannot be a perfect, 100% perfect government, but we're going to show that, from when we are in charge of the affairs of this country, we're going to run this country in a way that that Gambians will feel very satisfied, because we'll be aiming at perfection. That is what we will be doing. So these are more what time is related, and the turnout was also one that really, I knew Kafuko people were coming, but this level, the magnitude of the crowd, no, I never thought it would have been like this. And obviously, it's a lesson. And what lesson is that Melbijeto, they are all committed UDP supporters. And they are not just sympathizers, they are supporters and members. Well, I can and you can be sure that there is not a single attendee hopes to get anything from UDP today. Or UDP recruit put him in the system as a symphony advisor. These are people who are concerned about Gambia and Halomento, and they are determined to redress that situation. To show their support, and that they said they are going to keep that support and that determination until the 4th of December 2021, when a big surge in the crowd, when it will be translated into vote. Translated into votes, and then get Gambia finally emancipated, freed and emancipated. So that is that's the lesson. That's the lesson. It's just determination, love for their party. And I was surprised the number of Kanyele coming particularly from Nyamina West. And we all agreed, come the next National Assembly elections, Nyamina West will be taken from the illegal occupants of the seat. It will be taken from me. I have absolutely no doubt about that. So Congress, is a great lesson, but it's a great lesson for us, and also a challenge. Leadership is also a challenge to the leadership. The expectation of the Gambian people, the leadership must not really betray that. And how do you betray that? First of all, you start being lethargic, and then being complacent. With this big crowd near, and then we enforce complacency and then into lethargy. That is a challenge to us, and we will not really be lethargic. We will not be complacent. We have always in the past now assumed in the race. They are ahead of us. Even US party that has come on the political terrain, on the political landscape, we believe, we assume they are ahead of us. And we are going to run after them, we are going to pursue them, reach them, and then Natambila. So I challenge them, and we are going to live up to that challenge. UDP TV&MEDIA, we are going to live up to that challenge, inshallah.
Inshallah. For setting the tone for this interview. Janimbe Batino Pastor Samaya for the question in Kari. Hechi Darboe. Diamo Konofonam, ye Nalonko UDP Democratic Party, just as the name sounds, United Democratic Party. Palindro Ketale, Kutul Dunda Executive, National Executive, congratulations to all of them. But don't let you pay tribute to those people. Mr. Sane and Infakeba Koli, you pay tribute that in your speech. Ko your to step aside your chance to dollar. But love the question of Meningala Jangalongo Yamoile, Molko Lawyer Darboe killing the leadership of Forum, Melialonko ila critics or question on Yininka. But you feel humble and elated, just to quote your words, for the trust and confidence party members of the Minnesota to re-elect you, and you went unopposed. So first of all, thanking the people who left, and also being re-elected as the party leader again from the word go HLBJ. So how did it feel for you to be re-elected again?
Well, really, I felt very humble.
Yeah.
And also very grateful.
Yeah.
To the Gambian people.
Mm-hmm.
UDP is, after all, the personification of the Gambian people. They call UDP, the Gambian people are in their total aggregate. UDP.
Yeah.
So, Purwaliente elect as their leader, it's a show of confidence. They and the Nakabilo Molbe. My brothers were there, my sisters were there, and they couldn't help in Kumbotale. Because the main Gambian Kole Bunya in the left family.
Yeah.
Through me, elect me as their leader. And just now for Yemen, the expectations of the Gambian people in me, their expectations from me is high. And that expectation to lead a campaign that will make UDP successful at the polls. And that expectation, I am prepared and quite willing to make sure that that expectation is actualized. Inshallah, I'm prepared to do that. And indeed, whether not having anyone to contest against me, I think again, it's a show of confidence.
Yeah.
If the people or some people believe that I do not deserve to be the leader of the United Democratic Party, they will put up candidates.
Yeah.
Certainly they will do that. And then there will be an open contest.
Yeah.
And whoever emerges as the winner or as the acceptable one, let me not say winner, but as the acceptable one to the party membership, will take up leadership of the party, and I would follow that person and serve him to the best of my ability. In the best interest of the So, yes, critics, that's what they will say. But unfortunately, I do not hear them say that about any other party.
Exactly.
What you did.
Exactly. That's why I got the point.
Yeah. So it's very it's an irony.
It's irony.
And but we accept that.
Yeah.
I accept that in good faith.
Yeah.
Therefore, if they raise eyebrows about that, maybe some are very UDP membership admire UDP strength admire, and they probably want to be leader of UDP, and they are not sure. If they come in and challenge me, they are not sure whether they'll be elected or not. But again, that is the personal views, which I respect very, very much. What I'm talking about is that UDP does not say that Gamenke is not democratic, or UDP does not say that we are imposing ourselves. And one thing you'll observe is that maybe there may be one or two other parties. I don't appoint anybody.
Yeah.
To any of the positions. But then you hear other parties that they appoint, like a mole appoint into various positions, either as deputy party leader or as treasurer or whatever. That doesn't happen in the United Democratic Party. It's the people who choose the men and women they have confidence in to manage the affairs of the party for the next 2 years. And in between, near Kuja Meyalon Kafoko, Amenyabo, Ibemar Warfat Lajeto. Babu Ibemon Lajeto. Either through an extraordinary Congress or through the Central Committee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Kekelo Libella Moika message okay sign. Check your message, please. From me, WhatsApp. Okay, Honorable Ousainou Darboe, saying that Sanaya Rexana, please fire your question, please.
Barakabake Sehu, thank you, Your Excellency. No first question of Excellency, Your Excellency, what I'm to go. It's going to be like a kind of a follow-up question to Sehu about the question about your election as the leader of the party. Interviews, various interviews, and this question will be at the doorstep waiting for you. Will you be willing to go further to be answering this question? Because none of journalists will understand that sometimes it's not about Mulka Memphis, but sometimes if only like in calls of the Kono, you can have questions if all the time. Then come to call you opportunity, or why you are always the leader, more oppose is a kind of dictatorship. Will you be willing to be answering this question, or do you will you make it clear to them that this question should not be asked again? And then also the size of the executive, which totals to a number of 38 people, our opponents start saying that it's too big and it will determine the size of government. Does this have anything to do with the size of government when UDP comes into office? Yes.
Yeah, party. Sorry, hold on. I'm Abukam Moide. Sana, hold on. I can Moile say. I think, Sana, we lost connection there. Because I'm lost moment. Hopefully, if I do back again. I'll be like UDP TV&MEDIA. I think we lost connection with the party leader. I think there was a break in, communication there. But hopefully, he will rejoin the broadcast. We also want to apologize, and a lot of people have commented. There is a typographical error. Sorry, there is a mistake. A computer Steve the N like a lot of people are commenting. Interview is IN, but actually IT. So Kekendo is working on it to amend it on the screen. Just I see a lot of people commenting on that. This thing happened with technology. So party leader is back.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarangama and
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Excellency, come with it.
It seems okay,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about.
So
maybe
Sana.
Okay. Yes, welcome back, Your Excellency.
I got somehow connected. You are asking Kavoko. This question will be asked several times. Because we want to ask it several times, but then suddenly your voice dropped. So I didn't hear the tail end of the question.
Yeah, maybe for interview and this question will be asked by most of the journalists. So will you be willing to go further to be answering this question over and over? Because sometimes not understanding, just for the sake of asking a question, but you can to put you in a funny position. And then secondly, for now, immediately after the election of our executive, which totals to a number of about 37 to 38 people, Nigerian opponents will jump to a conclusion that the size of our executive will determine the size of the government. Does this have anything to do with the size of the government if UDP Mansakunda are in power?
Well, let me say straight away, Kavoko did this question, if asked, I'm answering it one from you, and if I answer it 3 times, second and third time, that will be the end of it. Then anybody who asks that question again after the third time, I would think that that person is certainly not one who is interested as a journalist, who is interested in following other media, other interviews on other media platforms. They'll be not interested in that. That is why they would ask such a question. Otherwise, if you are not satisfied with that answer, if you bring it up again, to me, I will just tell you with all due respect, if you have another question. Mm-hmm. Whether this will show, whether this shows the size of our government, of course, I think really, dumb critics, it is only dumb critics who will only think in that way. After all, since independence, no government has exceeded, has even gone up to 30 ministerial portfolios. And indeed, you do not find a Deputy Minister of Women's Affairs, First Deputy Minister of Women's Affairs, First Deputy Minister of Women's Affairs, Mm-hmm. No, do you find, I don't know what would be the equivalent of a national president, maybe speaker, and a first deputy speaker, and a second deputy speaker. You do not find any of those things. I think those dumb critics, if that is how they view the UDP, I think they should really start thinking as reasonable and intelligent people and not put up those type of questions. Because for me, anyone who asks that question, I would consider as a dumb person. That's all I would do. So maybe they will not ask it again because they wouldn't want to be categorized as dumb persons.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My second question to you, Your Excellency, as we are all aware and we all know that every Gambians have the right to be in any political party. Na Gambian jele ibina ebe party dolto so ni Gambian be UDP fana mamra munkasi, especially when they are elected to the executive council. But immediately after the election of some Gambians to the executive council, Nata Yoko government is after them. Many of them they have anything to do with the government. The example is Kemo Sise, the deputy treasurer of UDP. Right now, iba Noma at GFA, Gambia Football Federation. Iba Bun Hatal Kana Kibaro so the Mankoida, Pulka Bundala Palasoto. What will be your position? What is your position as the leader of the party? What is going to be the party's position in that? Because UDP will main target because Masa Kundal to position and they are in UDP. Particular position Allah stand on that.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not sure whether we're targeted by Gamma Sakunda because I know GFF is not government. Mm-hmm. GFF is not government at all. So, of course, they can use influence, but certainly not. It's certainly not government. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to make any statement of that until we really see that something happens to Kemo Sise, and there is absolutely no justification for it. If there's no justification for it, then of course, we'll take issues with them.
Baraka. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Sheikhu Sebula, correctional mundi fanen konkret.
Baraka sana ila occasional kumada baake me parti leader fanen tantola baake la lamirola. Parti leader sambe diamo sifla back to be meng nin sango meng be dunga kon be na dunga kono teng 2021. Wala bekala very important year for Gambia. 4th of December 2021 wala bekala very important date, D-Day for Gambia. For Gambia fang emancipate. Nabonyi maralo kono science and memenko but wabekala karidi. Ye diamo dole for during the Congress in reference to Brikama. Molbe anticipate ko Brikama by election already. You reference the IEC party leader. Ko ye jikala tayo so ko simple English. IEC manje understand. So saying and wofanang left the question manje ngala mo jama be do you still have confidence in IEC as the party leader of UDP leading towards elections? Because it's all a referee. So dolbe jam more hakilo be fla Doliadiko Alhaji Mamman conducted a free and fair election which saw the defeat of the dictator in 2016. So Dolafulako, they have confidence in him. He's going to preside over a free and fair election. But in our statement, you raised sort of concern. Oh, in simple English understand. Let me elaborate. Do you still have confidence in IEC leading to 2021?
Well, see, government for not concerns new. All the ways in declaration, all the ways, and that is different from not having confidence in the institution.
Okay.
Something else has to be. We just don't want to take one isolated incident or issue, and then because of that, we do not have confidence in the IEC. Because there are a lot of things that the IEC does or has to do in connection with elections. And it is total sum of the handling of those various facets of things within the electoral process that would determine our position as to whether or not we would hold IEC, continue to hold IEC in high esteem, and have confidence in them. And of course, this one we are disappointed. We are disappointed, and we didn't expect to see really such a simple photo to really be dragging their feet. And we don't know why, and I do not think they have any justification for it. I think they should be ashamed. I think they should be ashamed of that. They shouldn't have allowed that, because the ordinary Gambians, will view them in ways that are not very, very positive. The way I think, maybe as a lawyer, broad-minded and so forth, maybe my cousin in Dobo didn't think that way. Just said, look at the man, straight away that which would not be not a conclusion. But I hope that the IEC will live up to the expectation of the Gambian people, and I hope that the IEC will take the right step so that even these court proceedings are terminated, so that we can go to court. Whatever reason, whatever reason have it dragging their feet, they know it. And I only hope that this feet dragging is not really meant to give MPP the latitude, MPP the space, really, to try to entrench themselves. I know Combo, I know West Coast, they cannot. West Coast is not Yamina West.
Yeah.
West Coast is not Kerjaragalwa.
Yeah.
But then, we do not, I hope that they are not doing anything to give them an advantage that they never had at the time when this seat legally became vacant. And elections ought to have been held 2 months immediately after that. I hope that is not what they are doing.
Okay. Party lelo Jabiro Senator. So men kumare still party confidence of IEC tole, but I concerns are raised about the foot dragging member can vis-a-vis pre-Kama election. So promote salo wonyam. All nango questioning. So saying policy issues. Jani bitala Sanaya. Darboe, your nutrition, agriculture, and food safety NAPS, and the youth employment empowerment. Project, Ninata education, digital economy, and all these things. Any 5-point agenda make a youth solo co-education, skill training. You for la diamo de ko ñu nekk la UDP priority areas so le UDP man se ko nata pour que jël sementu ya. But more than ñu ngaro la ko security man future J, security sector reform. Bao, Mr. Darboe, Ninata into office in 2021. Doku fula betalete ko. Malon fa yalon. To correct the wrongdoings of Jammeh plus the wrongdoings of Barrow. So it's going to be a Herculean task for President Darboe in 2022, just because Falindrol Menyantakala, ila word for transformative, UDP transformative. You hit your for many times, go be transformation on the Canada. But Mr. Darboe, this is going to be a task of a kind. Bao niata no nyama se kuna be mesirinje inyanta menkele yake. And this election will be a referendum on president greed, avarice, and all that. Your word should be for saying. Mr. Darboe, in 5 points, security sector reform feature.
Well, among the security sector reform are important. It is important.
Yeah.
But 5 points I mean, this is the human capital development. And any country, the development of human capital is a sine qua non for the progress of the country. I mean, security sector reform, of course, I mean, is paramount. It has to be done. It's certainly has to be done. And when we publish our manifesto, you will find in it our position on security sector reform. In fact, we've got some of the most able security experts. They're giving us advice on this in this sector. We have them. Some of them are in the United Kingdom. Some of them are in the Gambia here. Some of them are in the United States. I mean, well-trained former security officers and who were at the level, I mean, of policy making, positions, or at least on policy issues. They are there, and they know what type of security outfit. And when I say security outfit, I just don't mean the army, because when people talk about security, look at the army that man. Army that security.
Yeah, exactly.
And when maybe have not the army that man, because no when we at the TRRC.
Exactly.
Look at the army camp. But it's more than the army. It is the entire gamut of the security outfit, the prisons, the immigration, the police, the SIS or NIA, because enemy constitution refers to them as NIA, the NIA, the army, and to some extent the fire service, as well as the customs, because customs, economic security, customs deals with those aspects of security. In fact, I believe that they are or should be members of the National Security Council, the customs. So all these we need them in reforms. But then the one that really more be hammering coming, what I'm really Soldier Kunda, I reform another reform SIS, I reform another reform because you cannot keep on security from Holo, falling, do bondi NIA, Yasamba drug squad, you do bondi drug squad, Yasamba police, you do bondi police, Yasamba immigration, you do bondi immigration, Yasamba prison. No, I mean, taking them around in circles. No, that's not the reform. You want to follow the operations. Security in any particular security function operate near me. You want to look at that and see whether that is in keeping with the law. You also want to see whether those people manning those security institutions, whether they are really capable to man those institutions. You want to look at that. You want also to look at the size of the particular security outfit. You see, should it be this? And if it should be, size should increase. Justification, you increase the size. If you are going to downsize it, you downsize it. And downsizing for me is just not in number, but also in quality. And then, you expose them, not only expose them, but you give them facility to go for training. In their training in their various fields. You cannot have a senior security officer where Angale can attack for another or attack for another. He might have the desire, but because he's not equipped. So really, you cannot keep those. And also, we must not placate our security officers by promoting them, because you just want to please them.
Exactly.
When they do not deserve the promotion. That is wrong. And whatever happened can know. And certainly, I do not see much happening now to make us really get away from the past. Still now, operations no, although on a lesser scale, whatever happen can be. And what is even more worrisome, and I see that security is not going on well. When President called, Ndele Sembo Wagaya Jameti.
Wallahi.
Ako police on Bemulu. NI Bemulu. Aya Bedo of Kohan Economic Bemulu. Ndele Sembo Wagaya Jameti. It is very worrying. And that is what we fought against, misuse of the security. Because he's telling us, Kavoko, Nilbijane, CK Nole, Nyama, Ya Jameke Kenyame, and fancy economic lack. That is very worrying. If the political class intention sort of to go on with the security sector reform, it will never happen. I do not see Kafoko is directed at security sector reform. It's just there to placate and please our partners. Kafoko, yes, the security sector reform is going on, and you have all the opportunities.
Wallahi.
Adam Menke Gambia, Alhamdulillah. ECOWAS expatrial send, AU expatrial send, UN expatrial send, and at bilateral level, other countries send. No demand reform you're carrying out no. Although the political will lemon project.
Exactly.
Expatrial cannot come and impose themselves. They can only submit. And it is for the political heads to really accept those advice and have them implemented. So security sector reform is really very high on our agenda. And I tell you, we have very seasoned persons who have voluntarily, and we are very appreciative for that. I don't want to embarrass them, but they know themselves as I speak. When they say in the United States, maybe United States, they know themselves. In UK, they know themselves, and in the Gambia here, they know themselves. So, and it will be a reform that will enhance the capacity of the various security outfits, that will make the various security outfits respectable in the eyes of the Gambians, and that will really make the security, the very people, the personnel in those institutions proud of themselves. Yes, we are doing service to our nation, and people are admiring us.
What is explicit and comforting, Honorable Darboe, because Mananangani Samanang, Nalonko UDP grand plans in sort of Gambia falling for better once and for all. So Janibeta Samayari, just follow-up question. The same question on the wrong. Najele Netalo from the social media, Malam Foyajel, Police Wives Association. They go Police Association in President Netalo, loyalty so come. Mr. Darboe, as a party leader, do you think because more about focusing on you see like Kele Jamaica Kelenu, so you know more from Kotenge. So what's your comment on that?
Well, my comment is that just as I remember, this was before Nanine Kele Jadu. We condemned the Yajamela Jamano. Police officers' wife, the association of it, soldiers' wife, association of it. We condemned it. And it was on those platforms, then President Adama Barrow. It was on that platform, electoral level. And I think it is really, I don't know what is, I don't want to use words that will be very strong, but I mean, it's most unexpected. What you campaign against, you can now have that under your government. That is why in my phone call, in my statement, they are resurrecting and resuscitating the evil things of the past. And I want to ask the Inspector General of Police to advise his men, the police officers, to talk to their wives and tell them that they are neutral and their wives should help them promote their neutrality.
Exactly.
If they continue in that way, we say that Inspector General Mahmoud Joe is encouraging his men and to support their wives in doing what they are doing. They can belong to them, they can vote for any political party.
Exactly.
But I think it is wrong to do what they are doing is wrong. If we condemn it in Yahya Jammeh's time, it should be Adama Barrow condemned in Yahya Jammeh's time, which we did. He should not encourage that now. It is wrong, and it is wrong. These are the things that are impeding security sector reform in this country. Because Mel Bijeto, they want to stay on, and you think you keep them on, you'll get their support, get the support of their families. This is it. But again, I'm repeating, Inspector General Mahmoud Joe, please have a conversation with your men, to advise their wives to desist from what they are doing. They are dragging the name of your institution into dispute. After there are certain remarkable things. Having a human rights section, a human rights unit within the police, a complaint unit within the police. I think those are remarkable.
Very commendable.
But then you don't want to have those commendable efforts by you being thwarted and being stained by some people who are you want to use the women of your the wives of your men, putting on a political coloration and then attaching to the police. Because if you say the police wives, that's your institution.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you shouldn't allow your institution to be tainted by those unscrupulous politicians.
Wallahi.
We all fought against it in Jammeh era. So we continue to fight it.
Well said, Ousainou Darboe. Sana, back to you now.
Thank you, Sehu. Thank you, Your Excellency. Before me question on you, I'm an audience or Daniel. I'm a person sort of and the understanding that party leader is for all Gambians and the UDP is for all Gambians. So I be Kachal Bele Jahasela, I be Kamal Bele Jahasela. I be Malika Kamala, English Mala, be Sura Kamala, Jola Kamfoma about Folale. So I'll understanding sort of we can pick at least from each of these language now. So let's be patient and have the understanding that he is the leader of the United Democratic Party, and the United Democratic Party they believe that Gambe Bel Dentala Sio Bele Biji. So Nabi Diamla Wato, what a Sio Bele Mala. So Mbaldani La Wala. Your Excellency, Bella Fredin Kala question of Florian Walamu, Muno be sharing, Diamo be sharing, and it's a concern to Gambians and UDPians in particular, both in the Gambia and in the diaspora. Menkada IEC announcement on Yintiko Kafoko. I believe like a ballot paper system will do in the Gambia. Member can cut a fine. More frustration than people are thinking that it's a way to rig the election. So, Patio don't know they have came out and said that they are saying no to it. In this year. What's the stand of UDP as a party? Because the party don't have frustrated can do it. Patio buka diamu wala buka aksonota namang evidence correct in sort but kumol do fana be ko nyamo asunkan dale in case nakeda wala left akela this year memu patio la jabiro to karola the paper balloting system is a concern to Ghana.
Well, okay, this is a major policy issue, and whatever announcement is made should be taken as the parties considered position on it. At the first executive meeting of this newly constituted executive, which I hope will hold on the 2nd of January, we will discuss this thing and make our position known on it. So,
a follow-up question quickly: is the party going to be doing what the party do be men kumbo kam banko do be men kumbo kam majority for party watel ba jibe do nyina beta dal yake because Gambian wala UDP ko to be honest with nimmen ka diame ka nyina fo itela concern mo nyina and the majority of UDP no la concern mo nyina parti be la mo la parti do la ba ni Gambia do la ba for atel SGT fol ba jibe do men diata yo
well yalo executive fo parti na parti do yan tombonne ko ngamara patiola for the next 2 years. Ni dison men nyanta tala, ado nimbe dison tala, abekala in the best interest of the party. Ninga jube fanan kavoko, nyinde is something, meyalon kavoko is so weighty, ngata we go to central committee, which is virtually next to the Congress, we'll do that. We are not going to really go as it were like a referendum to go to every party supporter. No, we certainly cannot do that. But then the executive, additional dissenter, on a position, it will be a decision that is not only in the best interest of the party, but also in the best interest of the country.
Abaraka Bake, Your Excellency. My second question will be the draft constitution. Me alonko kuwa kachata nunjang atara deputy bungolto deputy dol they voted against it. Mole consensus ko $116 million was thrown in the trash can. So natajo ko baro administration of Pataka komun nan kotenge. Najele the former Nigerian president have visited the Gambia kuola. Molko why after throwing it, he left the Kamuni and Bake. So Molly there is a plot behind it, or there is a sinister action behind it. Minamu UDP Lord Arjawala, UDP call Atel Nadipitol, Munian de but according to information and the feedback coming from Molto, the majority of Gambians are saying no to it this time around. Because Italy have a vote against it for the simple reason that Yamotoka UDP favor, I lawyer Ousainou Darboe favor. Say kamuna ba kotenge ekoko kukilo munina or molko kulebe duma mina mum patiola stantije wala mina be kelele jabiro to karora.
Well itale alo na lilo ma yane manson UDP son tale all of our members voted for it. They son tale without any reservation. So itale kwa manson la itale ngante la dalilo fara ko manson no barsa ni nyinela o ya fnyaja manson no nyani yatina mansono basai abinara ko tengeme sonna bandanga tanga memfo adu manuko adu tanukunda wala this constitution of Benjamin mbole tala yuri bono na position we are not going to allow 116 to go down the range going from Yafanyam without this constitution being voted on, and let the Gambian people decide whether they will accept this constitution or they will not accept it. It is not for the National Assembly of Adama Barrow and his few cabinet colleagues, excluding the former Attorney General, because he was, it appeared, he was a loner. You know? Because Adama Barrow and some of his acolytes do not want this constitution. I mean, we are not going to accept that. That the Gambian people say, we don't want this constitution. That is what we are saying. I mean, we are not budging an inch. And when we are making that quite clear, we are not changing our position. What we voted for in the National Assembly, we want that same text to come to the National Assembly, and we'll take a vote on that. That's it. And then, if it succeeds, let it go to the Gambian people, and let the Gambian people reject it or accept it. It's as simple as that. What I'm not going to say. So, we'll decide, exactly, we'll decide, so I don't have to tell and go back to the executive. That we'll decide. You know, it is a whether we, in fact, really, this constitution favors. I don't understand. I don't know. Or you did. After all, nada ko ka Ousainou Darboe favor. For Ousainou Darboe new about for Alakana. But Ousainou Darboe father sini. So what will be the position? But Ousainou Darboe to Jericho. Will they vote for it? Will they vote for it? Why should they police for Ousainou Darboe? nonsense all you know it left it left la kunta ya da drone la kenyanta ya bolla but we are not hiding it. We are not hiding our position at all. The constitution as it is, draft, and National Assembly. Again, we vote on it. Particularly the transitional provision. We are not budging on the transitional provisions. We are not subsiding from it. No amendment to it, no modification, nothing. Ni sontala ya ta, ni mansora ya together. Simple. And we are not going to apologize to anybody for that. We are not going to apologize to anybody for that. If you people not left that, and you have a comment, Mr. Darboe was killing this thing. When you had killed it, and you, it's rotten, you want to, you want me to messy funko, to put my hand in those decayed funko, will not do that for anybody.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sambalaro to drone. A group of people also on the ground, many alonko nibedo ko la survey be kekana. To nyala mangambe be bem follow. But survey be kekana particular Carola, and in Gambe di wala Carola. So message you men na sort of follow so far and consent for no jampi because you have funya than Gambenol sutu UDP call. Iko imala fini paper balloting system wala imala fini draft constitution and moon and this is a message me alonko sambalaro lempuka fala alongo nyama and executive for mitte sa alongo nyama. So far Gambenol, the majority, and UDP not the majority. You come on left and paper ballot. Okay,
Baragabake party leader is 18:39 p.m. in the UK and in the Gambia right now. Interview kajane sign covering 1 hour, 29 minutes now. Name party leader UDP party leader. Name brother Sana Jajo live on UDP TV&MEDIA. Sana bring Sana yo question on yininka. Ngaje ko heart shoulder fly kan. Moral opinion fully resonate with what the party leader said. Ko yin draft let the Gambian decide. So no negotiation. So Ngamela saying that is very clear. Always saying you can go and sleep now. The particular position or party leader explain. I'll tell American interview la. Say I love the question on meaning kala. Sana draft constitution on meaning kale. Party leader ye diamol kono fonang. Ngalong question no dol be nyato. Moli funding ke wala question on be sana be meaning kala le. Mbo bulalate bolu. Bari memurunde kan ila diamol ko ye kodol fana highlight President Barrow bi aka depasso menke $150,000 every day ala depasso na e wuli keme fula so wuli talulu yo fo la diamo kono andu ngalo mo jamale ni sa bala fa warata when Gambians continue to live in abject poverty. The majority of Gambians continue to live on less than $1 a day. President killing la depasso wuli keme wuli talulu so saying yenyin fo la diamo kono le so molbe men nyinin ka kan bawo nyin koytale atuta vota so lepul. What would President Darboe do differently? Ni President Darboe nata fo nyim balu nyaabe talala le bang State House depasso be talala le ya fo le ko UDP will Maputo declaration 2003 African government on the side UDP by implement and ya fo ko seno bundale fanan UDP la budgetary allocation agriculture will be the highest. Ye funding ke wol fana nak karo mamandile ye education mamandile bari lafte ñi ngala menna nite nata ñin depasolu la Darboe at State House UDP government. Can you explicitly say on this program ko depaso be talalale ila not only domoro la karola clothing allowance president ikamendi ala nga kibarol mem fana soro fana sheda wuli keme sabane feng aka mel soto ñin nala domoro man killing so ite be mona folo no gambianole baw ndol lafita pour gamino le carte wala fayni ni be carte ñu ni kala bolu ka ben ñu ni nga okay it's good that party leader ñu ne fo nata be mu nek la different
really feto fato ndede kam fam feto fatal de adam be continue kam fam feto fatal nata ko nte mantra du jola mantra kuran jola mantra ji jola mantra essence sanda mantra telephone bill jola fana why na feto fato kay fana nyanto tano lale masa ko damanyo gambian ko manya no feto fatal o manya na kala dépassé ko dépassé ko même fatel Mr. Jaju Mr. Sedili, Alien Tambulu, Kavu Kodinam Kodimekela, Kabalu Nyamembi, you continue Kabalu Wanyale. I just said this, you know, Kava Konkam Menke, B. Karwa Kare, Sinis Killing Sang, Natana Sufulol Tema. The continental one. Karuko knew what's new this on Cardomole, Yame, I do not do Cardocono. Karwa Kare is see from Saji Sabasang, Yame, Gado Samba Kotu, Gado Samba Pipeline, Katale Tema, Nkoleke, Meninquadon, was Karo Kare and Kapa Nadimbale, Yachak Siseo, Ebesula Mena, Abukatami, Korda Korda, Abukatami Kapan Sabala. So, Wabaluo, Mboleke can sign, Munayati Nanabalu and Nanyanta Palina Kotenke. Nada Panson quality pants, Mananda Panson Yanta Palina Kotenke. Katuko, Yame, Ningwa family killing Labitala, State House. No family killing Labitala State Adobato Fang, Nimbitala, Kotu family, Abe reduced Lally, but the other dependently, Wabita came Mayale. So, the reduced again, you know, the pipeline, yeah, well, finding that from housemates, you know, and in Mama Ringo, Mama so small, what a color liability in terms. So, coming for that, Kabalu Nyamin. Before I became vice president, in Kabalu. Before I became Minister in Kabalu, and when I became Kabulongo Position, I continued Kabalu. So, why should it change? Because the Gambians have money to provide for me. For now, I can now visit Pasara, and what a killer. What
a killer. What Senator? Great response on the table. And you respond because Bribe Mansakundano, Bribe Vice President Yala, your lifestyle even Nibida UDP la Benga can be found in a private car, become a secondary motor use. So more than so this is the mobile convinced like President Lawyer Darboe will act in the same way, coming with the Vice President. Even Mansakunala resources abuse can just at will cover drum because Gambia move forward bankole. So more men question on for Honorable Darboe. Economic commitment will be UDP benyenekela education, grand plans, benyenekela Pruka Gambia curriculum sector overhaul. Pruka 10% ke budget of Senola Carola. Yafoko Seno is the biggest employer. So molka kusoro men nyinga fana. Nyin kurol be bola min tole. Bao UDP afole ko. Ita yafole kon amanke konte don toro kelade. But borrowing will be reduced. Fiscal discipline be tara sekunda. You be funa diamo kono. You outlined very salient points policy wise. But prove a neutral voter out there can convince membe la moy kam. Still amala mind make. Ebe dole nyinga rola. Kodol be bolaminto, resources be bolaminto. UDP is committed itself. Menekala karambola karo, menekala salora, menekala education, health centers all. Kodol be bolaminto. At the same time, nkonte bore in kalabaki. So you call the kalanya. Maybe it's a voter so dolu. It's a kodol scenario. How you make kalanyami without ever going into the details.
Well, certainly, if you look through our statement, investment, we've mentioned investment.
Yeah.
Kauko will encourage investment, and that will also tsunami.
Yeah.
Now, if you encourage investment in the right sectors, particularly in the service delivery sectors, the investment encouraging that, the government is bound to realize dividend from those investments, not dividends in terms of sharing in the profit, taking a share in the profit. But dividend in the terms of getting tax from tax from the particular investors, particular businesses, and of course you use a low returns to really look into this to really look into this phone call. And I said, age sort whatever in the agricultural sector, first thing people think of is go buy expensive vehicles.
Project vehicles.
Project vehicles. Why do you have to? Because there are, before project investor, there are vehicles.
Exactly.
In the particular sector. Why can't you continue to use those vehicles? And then, you know, the resource may be you utilize it properly. And you can do this, you know, to build up 10% commitment. You also have to see in the budget, you know, the useless areas will make expensive. You just have to look at those then and then cut them off.
Yeah.
And then you know, you'll turn and inject it into the Minister of Agriculture, so that the 10% target you can meet it.
Yeah.
And then I think the same thing also for education.
Yeah.
Same thing also for education. You just have to be very wise in expenditure, in your allocations. How do you allocate your resources, your scarce resources? You just have to be, I mean, you have to be effective. You have to be, you have to really know what the priorities are. You have to know what the priorities are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Abarka bagi party leader.
You must expenses kata under the office of the president. Yeah.
And centralized service.
It has no name. Centralized services can go for anything.
Anything.
It can go for anything. Was centralized services, you know, cut it.
Yeah.
Because when you get to know the nitty-gritty of it, cut it, yak into agriculture.
Exactly.
Cut some of it, yak into education. Cut some of it, yak into health. Yes. And then we start moving.
Abalava Watabake party leader, centralized services from the market mentioned the budget of 8.9% of the budget. The 2021.
Of course, President Ladapan so far now.
Exactly, President Ladapan. So it's very sad. Agriculture 1.8 and President Officer 2.8%. Among complete mismatch. But again, move back to Sana. So now Sana saying funding goal what I'm in a question on Sana, back to you.
Baraka Shehu, Baraka, Lamuela Lumbadala once again, Al program when you record, leader Bedia Mukang, Kujamal Belamu, Sakarano Jang, in a Lamani Hakula Malama in Gisola, Belaflani Kachale, the audio kona I fit up the last village in Koina, Molialo Memphis. So I don't be Lamura place, Baldan Al program when you record. Say Baraka Baka, Your Excellency, the Nibita funding Kola Carola, Belaflani Kala question follow Manajawalam. The tour. President Kamenke, Midi People Store, commonly known as Midi Farmer Store. Najoko Banko President Bakeka at this point. And Jiko Bijoko, inshallah, UDP Masakunda Bible Lab. But ni UDP Masakunda Sita. Minabekala Yella style when it comes to Midi People Store. In regards to the size of the delegation, Menkabura President Noma, Pademol Menkajo, Moto Menkabura Abula Noma. About Moldul be kakato five policy so la kampura ga mo la kasabe kakato five partiwe ese mo no gamino lo ko ni UDP masakunda sita there will be a change of style when it comes to midi people store ko do men ka spende na flo men ka saraji because adwata nyawonya mo be kanilo no ko adwata nyawonya nothing less than $15 million is ka spend in total, nothing less than $10 million is ka spend in total leptanol bam borol soto kanam mo be maneri lajima maneri mali be mi flo no karola mid people store is a concern at this moment.
Well, yes, it's a concern. As far as Abikeka Nyamin saying, it's really a concern. Again, we had condemned Yajame for this. President Bambaro, a platform mount. That platform was condemning this. But here again, President Ramabaro, he is doing it, you know, just as Yajame Kakenyame. And then I start asking myself, was he really genuine in his criticism of Yajame? In his condemnation of things Yajame Kamenke, was he really genuine about it? Or was he just being a populist politician, wanting to play to the gallery? I started asking myself that. Because if really what was an abomination, is something that was wrong. Why should you do it? Why should you be, reading from your James book and not create your own? But let me just say, Nintel Nata, Anito from Bongamera Mba Fenkelale, Mba Falindale, Yadon Sadala Jamano Kafko meet the farmer store. And very good reason, but some of them some are willing to some in August, that has in La Diela condition of Jubilee, you know, in Parliament and so forth, you know. But I'm not saying Kafko become until Bakel, but as I continue to live, I say, Cameron Kafko, can we say, listen to the people's talk, or hear the people talk? I don't know whether I don't know that. But what is important is whatever name is given to it, the size of the delegation, the size of the presidential entourage has to cut down.
Absolutely.
So what you go out for is what is mandated by the Constitution to see what impact your policies has had on the lives of the people. So we, Nintel Bitala, will go with the technicians. Also, and those technicians will also go and meet other technicians there. Okay. For instance, you know, the Minister of Education would just be on the phone call just because of policy in event that questions are asked that touch on policy matters. But otherwise, all the regions have directors. So whatever on matters affecting education, affecting schools and so forth, the directors are there. And we expect that they would take note of what is being said. If it is agriculture, the regional directors of agriculture, they are in all these regions. So issues of fertilizer and all those things, they have these technical people, all of them there. So would it be necessary for you to go along with the permanent secretary, Minister of Agriculture, when you have the technical people there on the ground there? Is it necessary for you to go with the Secretary General, head of the Civil Service, Secretary of Cabinet? All these permanent secretaries, you have the technical people on the ground there. Many of them, if the president is to answer any question, they are there, the technical people, they can advise the president. Yeah. And prepare appropriate answers for them. But look, Minister for Education in the provinces, you're going to skip primary schools. Minister of Education, what has the Minister of Education got to do with this? Yeah. If there was only one ministry that's one for for all the educational institutions in the country, yes. Yes, that will be understandable. That will be understandable. Yeah. Now, as I